Okie dokie artichoke, let's keep going. Alright, so let me describe you the problem I've got right now. Alright, so we got a ring that rotates around a central axis. The ring is made out of a fuzzy organic material, and when you split open the ring, you get black sludge. It's not supposed to be black, the sludge. Need to make it colorful. What I've done so far is I've managed to encrust the interior of the circle, the ring, with gems, or gems. It's just, I haven't managed to make the black stuff. Alright, whatever. Let's just keep going. This is esoteric. In fact, I'll work on this later, at the end of the video. If you want to stick around and watch me do stuff inside my own head that you probably won't be able to see. Mike. You know, go ahead. I'm going to be talking a little bit about the theory of hyperspace, okay? So, hyperspace is the movement of all objects, or an object, or its destiny. When something moves through hyperspace, it gets closer to its destiny, okay? So, like the Earth traveling around the sun does not go through hyperspace. But you getting a new job, or quitting your job, or getting married or breaking up with your girlfriend, you're traveling through hyperspace at a nominal rate. Hyperspace can be navigated. It takes a lot of, stretching of the mind to navigate. And most people probably won't be able to do it without some serious meditation training. And it can do very cool things. In fact, there are an infinite different numbers of hyperspaces, and each one of them looks different. Each one of them has different properties. Yeah, telepathic communication between alien species, or telepathic faster than light Let's put it this way. I don't really understand much about hyperspace, but I do know how to work with it. I may be crazy. In fact, I'm probably crazy. Or at the very least, people might view me as crazy. But like I said, I'm trying to explain what hyperspace is, what it does, and how it exists. It's like atmosphere. It's an atmosphere of destiny that surrounds spectral realms, okay? It's an atmosphere of destiny. When you're on a hyperspace ship through hyperspace, you are being shielded from the mind-bending powers of hyperspace, okay? So what a hyperspace technician does is they pilot a hyperspace ship through hyperspace, okay? In order to move through so if you want to connect to someone else's mind, you need to go through hyperspace, okay? This is all theory that I've come up with myself. I actually cannot validate any of it except through what I've experienced. And if you want to see hyperspace for yourself, join my Discord below, and I can try to get you up there. I'm pretty sure that around 80% of the population is not very responsive to spectral stuff that goes on in the spectral realm. Like, they have a hard time visualizing things in their mind. I think 10% of people are very bad at visualizing hyperspace, and another 10% of people are very good at hyperspace. So, what hyperspace is currently used for is to move between spectral realities. Okay, so like I built a sort of oasis at one place in hyperspace, and I built a entry plaza at another place in hyperspace. And there's this place called Zone Mysterio, which is basically a city with a tower in a different place of hyperspace. And in order to get between any of these mental or telepathic or spectral locations, you have to go through hyperspace, okay? And going through hyperspace raw, without a ship, without a guide, or without a hyperspace technician to bring you is very difficult. You have to be acclimated to it, okay? So, in order to become a hyperspace technician, what you have to do is you have to just take a test, essentially. So, you got to learn about hyperspace, and you got to put some hours behind the wheel driving hyperspace vessels. And once you've learned how to pilot hyperspace vessels, and you get your diploma as a hyperspace technician. It's basically like a mechanic or a conductor, a train conductor. See, it takes sentience to move stuff through hyperspace. Okay, once you become a hyperspace technician, you have the ability to study to become a hyperspace engineer. Okay, and hyperspace engineers are capable of building hyperspace vessels. Okay, hyperspace technicians can only pilot hyperspace vessels. If you're a hyperspace engineer, you have the ability to build hyperspace vessels. And there's one step above hyperspace engineering, which is a hyperspace physicist or a hyperspace or a god type. I don't know. Anyways, they can bend hyperspace to their will. Okay. Bending hyperspace is very difficult. But I figured out how to do it quite a while ago. I spent like 2 years, 3 years not doing anything up there because I was convinced that it was completely bull. I was convinced that, no one would ever understand what I was talking about, and no one would ever see the stuff that I've seen. But over the past week, I've been proven wrong. People see what I see. Several people have seen what I've seen and repeatedly told me that they see what I see up there. Hyperspace and Zone Mysterio and my oasis and the trains. They've seen it. Other people. Not me. Not my imagination. Okay? And that's why I'm very glad, because I finally confirmed that my theories, the theories that I've held for many, many years but haven't been able to test, are finally being validated. Validated anecdotally. Eventually we're going to have to validate them scientifically, but I have to work on the server architecture for that. Everyone on my Discord doesn't go to bed until like 3 or 4 a.m. I usually go to bed at 9 a.m. in my time zone, 9:30 at the latest, which makes it pretty difficult for me to coordinate various, because I'm pretty sure most of the people in my Discord are still in school, though it's lockdown time, and the schedule of a person in school who is on vacation usually extends into nighttime. Although it does not help that the medication I take to control my schizophrenia makes me tired. So I take my medication at around 7:50 or 8 o'clock each night, and by 9 o'clock I'm too tired to do anything because that's what my medication does to you. So I apologize to all the people in my Discord for going to bed so early, but I take my meds at 8, and by 9 I'm too tired to do anything. Anyways, hyperspace. So if you want to become a hyperspace technician, you got to learn how to drive a hyperspace vessel. If you want to become a hyperspace engineer, you need to learn how to build a hyperspace vessel. And if you want to learn how to become a hyperspace theoretical physicist, you have to be a hyperspace vessel. I theorize about this ether called hyperspace. Some people can travel through it relatively easily. Okay, like if you some people can travel through hyperspace relatively easily. It's the space between thoughts. I think that is the most accurate description of what exactly hyperspace is. It's the space between your thoughts and their thoughts. It's the space between your thought of one thing and your thought of the other thing. So if you imagine yourself inside of a garden, yeah, imagine yourself inside of a garden, and if that garden is not completely in your mind, which I believe that most stuff, if you connect to this realm, is not completely in your mind. For someone else to access a different garden, you'd have to go through hyperspace. Okay, you have Garden A and you have Pool B. Okay, and you want to move from the garden to the pool. You got to take a train. You got to either ride a pre-built hyperspace vessel, and B, or either A, ride the hyperspace vessel, or B, swim there yourself. But that takes a little bit of practice to do. Anyways, so at one point, I discovered on a distant mind land that there was these aliens who had crashed on an island, on a deserted island, and their starship, yeah, they had a starship, and their hyperspace drive was destroyed. So they were trying to put it back together, and then all of a sudden I pop up. This must have happened 4 years ago. I pop out of nowhere, and I'm like, hyperspace engine? I can fix that, and I fixed their hyperspace engine. It took me quite a while, because it was the first hyperspace engine I ever fixed. But I fixed it, and we all got onto the ship and went. But since I have a physical body, my hyperspatial mind cannot leave this Earth's radius. Okay, so pure hyperspace travel can only be done by data beings. Okay, this is a little side theory here. In order to travel faster than light, you have to become a mental construct. So you have to become pure thought, and there's some sort of method for becoming pure thought that we humans at one point did have. That's how we got the gods of the ancient world. Okay, these gods, when they went through a ritual of some sort, and when they died, they became thought beings. And if you want to travel to a distant planet, you have to be a thought being. Us humans, we're biological beings and thought beings. But we can't leave this Earth. Us humans can't leave the Earth, or the envelope, the hyperspace envelope that surrounds the Earth, for long periods of time. Like, we can visit far off locations, but they're... Anyways. So I hope you get this. It's a very, very difficult subject for me to talk about. Not because it's like emotionally difficult. It's just that it's so esoteric that I don't really understand how it works. I do know that I built the hyperspace train. Runs on soul power. And if you want to ride the train, say Ashente in your head, and you'll get this green box that'll go into your mind. All right, and there's going to be a train to the left and a train to the right, or a train to the left and a train to the right. If you want to go to Zone Mysterio, which is a pre-built city that I think has been there for thousands of years, go to the left. If you want to go to my Oasis, which I built a couple years ago, go to the right. Get on the train, and after about a journey of a couple of minutes to maybe 5 minutes, that the train will take you there, but its speed depends on how adapted you are to the environment of hyperspace. So if you're not very good at traveling through hyperspace, the train will go slower. If you're, very easily navigate through hyperspace. In fact, if you're a good hyperspace navigator, you can go through hyperspace without even taking the train. But the train makes it a lot easier, okay? Get on the train. It's a lot easier. You don't have to, purposely bend your mind places that it's never gone before. Yeah, so... And if you want to become a beta tester, in fact, I'm probably not going to do any more coding today. Scode. Let's just put my let's just do that for the next 5 minutes. My videos usually I shoot for 20 minutes. So if you become a beta tester of the realm, I'll give you a plot of land in the city, or in the Oasis. I'm going to call it Oasis. Okay, that's going to be the name of the game after Ready Player One. I read the book before the movie came out. Don't judge me. So I'm going to call it Oasis, okay? And eventually, I hope to make this a full-on MMORPG that you can access anywhere, anytime, when you're doing anything. You won't need a game console. All you'll need is your imagination and a application to communicate with people, because pure telepathic mind-to-mind communication is difficult, okay? It doesn't work very well. I may get it to work better at some point in the future, but as of right now, telepathic communication is very garbled most of the time. It's garbled. It gets garbled all the time. Because you hear what you expect to hear, okay? When you're telepathically communicating with someone, you hear what you expect to hear. You see what you expect to see too. But if you have enough practice up there, you see stuff in the way. It's like a video game in your mind, okay? That you can just connect to by saying Ashente, which is from No Game No Life. I like that word. I don't know. I just thought it'd be a cool logon word. It may take a few times for you to log on the first time, because you've got to download software and stuff like that. But in general, once you're up there and once you've seen it, you can see it. You can. You'll be able to see what's going on up there. We've built some dungeons that you can farm. There's a currency called Chris, and I'm working on the server architecture. It's kind of a bummer, actually. Let's keep going. All right, so let's see. Twinkle. Pull, diverge, capstone. All right, let's see. Capstone. Ugh. All my work's still there. Capstone. Ooh, wrap. Penetrate. Suck, like vacuums. So I'm gonna call it vacuum. Vacuum. Swirl. Okay. Ooh. Oh. There we go. Oh. I did it! I turned the goo colorful and black, but it's colorful. All right, great. Now it should be easier to connect. That's it. That's all. Hope you had a good time. Cheers. Flatten the curve. Don't go outside unless you absolutely have to.